and today I will be telling you an old Cherokee folktale about the first fire. All credits for the story go to the Cherokee community, Cherokee Nation on YouTube, and Robert Lewis, who is an amazing storyteller. Now, have you ever thought about the first time fire was discovered and what people thought about it? Did they think it was bad because it was so hot and it could burn them? Or did they think it was good because it brought warmth and light? Well, actually, it's little known that it was a group of animals that first discovered fire. So the story goes that all the animals were so cold and shivering and teeth shattering. Bear sees a big storm rumbling in the distance, and he watches a huge bolt of lightning fly across the sky and strike a tree bright as ever, catching it on fire. Bear makes the animal council meet and tells them he saw part of the sun. They decide to call it fire. Bear says someone has to go get it. Everyone volunteers, hands in the sky. They want to be the hero that catches and brings fire back to the town. Bear picks one at random. It's a raccoon. Bear says, "Raccoon, you've been chosen to go get the fire. With your beautiful white skin, we can see you from far away." Raccoon says, "I'll go. I'm not afraid." So he runs to the big tall tree, burning and roasting under the fire. Raccoon's watching the flames. He's dodging the heat. He starts to sweat. How can he grab this fire? How can he carry it back? He gets as close as he can manage, and the fire starts to pop, and the embers start to hit him in the face, and there's a loud boom. Raccoon screams, "Ah!" and he falls backward, boom, with a thud. As he falls, he gets his tail stuck in the roots, and it starts to burn. He can tell his tail's on fire, and he starts to scream again, and he pulls it out. He runs all the way back to the council. They don't recognize him. Bear says, "Who are you?" He says, "I'm Raccoon." And everyone gasps, "Look at you. You've been burned or something. Your skin that was white, it's all gray looking now." Raccoon says, "It's scary over there. I don't want to go back." Everyone says, "Look at your face," which this is hard to do. So he looks at his reflection in the stream, and there's this big black mask across his eyes. Everyone says, "Look at your tail." So Raccoon turns around, looks at his tail, and he sees dark rings just like a tree around his tail. Raccoon looks at Bear and says, "I'm not going back. It's way too scary." Many more animals try, but fail to bring the fire back to the council. Finally, little water spider raises her hand and says, "Let me try." She's been watching everyone, but they don't think she can do it. Bear says, "You're just a tiny little bug. How are you going to carry it?" Water spider says, "Watch me." So she goes to the tree, and she knows not to get too close to it. She saw what it did to Raccoon. Little water spider grabs a stick, and she starts digging in the dirt until she gets to the roots. And she pulls out an ember, and she starts to blow on it. And slowly, it gets brighter and brighter. The flames start to rise, and she's made her own little fire. She has to figure out how to get it back. So she gathers some mud, and she makes this little clay pot, and she puts it on the ground, and she gently places the ember and puts it on her back. She walks back to the council, and Bear says, "Well, where is it?" Water spider says, "Watch." She takes the pot off her back, she places it on the ground, and she pulls out the ember and gently sets it on the ground. She starts to blow on it again. And as the flames start to pick up, she grabs some sticks and twigs, she puts them in there to feed the fire, and it gets bigger. And all the animals say, "Ooh," and they start gathering sticks to help Spider. And they keep blowing, and it gets bigger and bigger, and soon they have fire. And that's the first fire that we've ever had.